please, Bay. Elijah C. Scuggs, freak show tycoon, an amateur bioengineer.
I can look at a guy like Kevin Costner and see a giant peach grub.
When fate brought them together, Mr. Scuggs took an average Hollywood slime ball and made something out of him.
Oh, God! This was my good side!
20th Century Fox presents Freak. It's about friendship.
I thought I told you to shut up!
Loyalty.
I said we kill him.
Life's big questions.
How many feminists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
No show business.
The public does not want to see disgusting, depraved, violent filth.
And I suppose Jake and the Fat Man was just a fluke.
It's about state-of-the-art technology. It's about Mr. T, it's the bearded lady.
I am woman. Now like me.
It's about Bobcat Goldthwait as a sock.
It's the end of the world! The apocalypse!
It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
And it'll make a cold sore that you thought had healed up start bugging you again.
It's the kind of film Brooke Shields has always wanted to do.
Oh.
Introducing Larry Bud Melman as the President of the United States.
What's the matter? Traitor with a little rock stuff?
In Freaked, coming soon to theater. Freaked, but ugly, but funny.
Welcome to show business, morons!
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Friday, which is time for a Friday Fright review. And this week's category was 90s Nightmares. This is Fright that came out in 1993. It's not like your normal horror and gore and killing. It does have its gross out moments, but I think this is a underrated movie that more people should check out. It's really good. I enjoyed it. It was written by Tim Burns, and Alex Winter was also one of the writers who stars in it as the main guy who got freaked, as you just saw in the commercial there. And basically, it starts out with him on a talk show. You don't see him, you just see like a shadow outline, and Brooke Shields is the host of the show, interviewing him, saying how he used to be like a well-known actor and famous in some of his roles and everything, but something changed. What happened? And he was like, "Are you sure you want to hear this? It's a long story." So he's basically telling what happened to him. And it also has William Sadler is in it, Randy Quaid, Mr. T is the bearded lady, which is pretty funny. So as he's telling his story, he's going to do like an advertisement for some company. I forget what country he was going in to do this. But so he goes and he's flying down, and it's funny when he's on the plane because he has this little kid stalker that's like obsessed with him. And as he's on the plane, the stewardess opens up the overhead air bin and she starts screaming, and she's like, "Sir, is this your troll?" And they think this little kid, they just call him a troll, and he's begging him not to do this advertisement for them because this company's bad for the environment and chemicals and all this stuff. And he's saying how he used to be good, and he's like tearing up, and they're like, "Aw." And another stewardess comes by real fast on a cart, like knocks him over, and it opens the side of the plane. The door comes open. This guy on a wheelchair gets sucked out along with the little kid, and another stewardess just walks right on by like nothing has happened, closes the door. There is a lot of funny moments to this, but it does have its couple gross out moments. And it's pretty funny, or it's pretty cool, all the creatures of how they were mutated. Randy Quaid's the scientist who changes them. So when they arrive to where they're supposed to leave in the airport, they see a bunch of people protesting the company, and he doesn't want to get recognized. So he's with his friend, and he wraps himself up in gauze and everything, and has a cast so he's not recognized. And he goes up to him, everyone who's protesting, because he sees this one woman there, and he's attracted to her, but he doesn't want her to know who he is. And he's like saying, "Oh yeah," saying how bad they are, and trying to just agree with her. And and brain fart, sorry, how bad the company is, and she ends up going to a in the car with them, and she's still talking about his friends, like, oh yeah, he's so bad. They're like talking, and then she mentions, was it? I can't remember what actor it was, but anyway, when he heard the actor's name, he's like, what, can he do this? Can he improv? And she realized who she's stuck with, and she's trying to talk him down about the company and everything. And as they're driving by, she's saying how the company is like turn people into worms, and they see like all these signs, and she's like, well, no, not really. And they end up stopping at the freak show, and while they're looking there, they meet Randy Quaid, who takes them into like this shed. It kind of reminds me of the TARDIS, because it's like this little shed, but inside it's bigger. It's always bigger inside. If you watch Doctor Who, you get that reference. And he straps him down, and he has like this weird green goo that he can change people into certain freaks, whatever he wants. The computer that he has, the mouse, is literally a mouse. And he combined like humps and mutations or deformality, like there's percentages of everything he can do. And his friend and the girl that they met, he combines them into Siamese twins. So they're stuck together. While as Alex Winter's character, Ricky Coogan, you saw in the commercial how he's like that half weird face and hump. And on his face, that pimple, there's like this ooze that oozes out. And he's like all freaking out, and he wants to escape. And there's the other one freaks that are there, the sock head, the cow, the worm, the earthworm guy. And it's funny because he has no arms, and he's always like, would you wipe my ass? And they're like, no. And they use him to dig a tunnel out. And Randy Quaid has these guard eyeballs there that you saw come down. And just all this crazy stuff goes on as they try to escape. And for some weird reason, at one point, Ricky sees like that kid, the troll, like appear to him, kind of like a apparition or whatever, and he's like, whoa, this is so cool, what's going on? And he's telling him what it is, and the worm, I believe it was the worm, told him that they were soulmates. So that's how he contacted him, and he sort of told him what was going on, and the kid tried to tell people what was going on, different newspapers, and he keeps getting thrown out of different places because no one believes him. And then like a Weekly World News prints out the story about the freaks, and he goes down, the kid's kidnapped by the company and brought down to the chemical plant or the freak show place, because they were going to still sign the contract, and they wanted to see what the kid knew exactly about what was going on. And of course the kid gets mutated into something. As they're doing the last freak show, Randy Quaid wants to turn Ricky against all the other ones and to try to kill them, and he has a formula that he plans on using to make him aggressive, to do the greatest last show of the freaks and have them kill everybody. And they try to trick him and get this good formula, and there's a good twist of how they escape and what happens to Randy Quaid, but I don't really want to ruin the ending for you, but it's interesting, and all the weird stuff that you see, talking cow, it's basically lives up to the title, Freaked. So it's one that you should definitely check out if you've never seen it. The full movie is on YouTube, so you can search it if you want to watch it. And that's it for this week. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.